Hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello everyone, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Today I have to say that I am a bit tired. I didn't sleep much, unfortunately, and so I am a bit tired, but I will do my best to keep up with the stream and yeah, and do what we have to do. And do what we have to do. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Just a second, someone is asking me the some stuff on the game, so I'm just gonna give him the link. Link to our game, and yeah. So we had one of our players and guys also in Discord, Twilight is his name, that decided to help. Oh my god! Decided to help on the lockpicking minigame, And so he started to create a project in Unreal. A project in Unreal for the lockpicking, right? And yeah, at the moment, I mean, I think there may be a bit of an issue with the directional light and everything, right? So we should maybe tweak it down a bit, but it's fine. There is also eye adaptation. I mean, there are some stuff that we may decide to tweak a bit, but yeah, so we have the let me just see if there is a skylight or skylight is here. Density scale. Wow. Skylight actually pretty strong. Anyway, we don't care about it too much. But basically, what you can do, right? If you play the game, there is a very strong eye adaptation. Twitch seems to be lagging. Twitch seems to be lagging. It happened already in the past, but unfortunately there was no real way for me to fix it. Instead of, I mean, the only way for me would be to restart the stream or change the server that we are using, but you can specify which server to use for restreaming, and we could do that, but I see looks like Twitch is having some issues. No, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to watch my stream and it's not even playing the advertisement. Interesting. At the moment I cannot do much, so you may switch on YouTube temporarily. Sorry, I'm just speaking with an artist that seems to be interested in helping now. If he will really help, we will see. But he seems to be interested. Bam, bam, bam. Let me change the music. Okay. The other channel were fine for me on Twitch. So yeah, it's probably a restream. Maybe switch on YouTube if you can for now, and then we will see. Hopefully it will fix itself. Hopefully. Maybe just reload the page and see if after some time it refreshes. But anyway, let's move on. So I did some work on the on this base lock. Actually, I have created 2 versions of it. So the first version was created by Twilight, and it was actually very good. It just needed some cleanup, right? Some geometry cleanup and some texture mapping. And I actually created two versions. One with this bronze color and another with the more of a metal color, metal looking color, right? One is like this, right? And the other one is like this. And I think they're both interesting. We can use them for different things. And I don't know, Twilight, I see you are here in the chat as well. So thank you a lot for producing this prototype, right? It's very nice. So it saved me so much time and very, very good. What I'm thinking is there is a kind of a door. Yeah, there is a kind of a door, right? There's a door with this lock on it. And if you manage to unlock, right, you now the only problem I see is that yeah, you can actually move this, right? You can push the locks up and down, but there seems to be some bouncing going on. So I don't know exactly. I think this is something that you changed recently, or but anyway, the idea, I like the bouncing, by the way, it's very cool. But I think we need the pin to follow the lockpick, right? So that when you are pushing with the lockpick, you are pretty much pushing the pin as well, right? And also, as you can see, if I go up like this, then the lockpick is touching, right? There's probably a collision that you did, like a kind of a collision thingy. Right, and then we have to do the bottom as well. We have to do the bottom. What is this space? Lockpick broken. Why if I press space is saying lockpick broken? Maybe space it was implemented at the beginning and then it's I can go as much as I want in this direction. Yeah, that's easy to fix. Okay, so I think we only have a very strong directional light, right? And I don't know if you really want a directional light, actually. And there is a lot of eye adaptation, really a lot. But anyway, at this point, you know, the actual light setup will be completely different in the game, right? So we can easily ignore it, I would say. I mean, you can try to improve it a bit, right? So it looks more, yeah, with the light that is more front facing, you see that it looks slightly better. The lockpick breaks if you press it at the wrong time. Ah! I see. I understand. I understand, but I don't think we should do it this way. But I understand. I understand what you did. I understand. No, my idea, I don't know if you have seen the document, right? I updated the document, the Word document, the Google Docs document, right? And I added a bit more reasoning here on how the lockpick should move compared to the pin and all of that. I think we can try to do something like this. Yeah, I think the eye adaptation. I think you do you have a post processor or you have it in the world? No, you don't have a post processor. Probably there is a standard light adaptation here, or I don't remember where the hell is it, but it's fine. Let's not look at the light. The light is okay. The light is perfectly fine. I mean, in our game will be different anyway, so I think it's fine. Okay, so I want to learn a bit what you did, right? Just to understand it better, because I have to get myself comfortable with what you did, and it's a bit strange that if you do new editor window, the UI is gone. That's kind of strange. Right, so new editor window, the UI is gone. If I do it like this, I see the UI. That's very strange. There is something wrong in the UI setup, but that's fine. So let me just see the different pieces. Okay, so we have these pieces. I have to get myself a bit comfortable with the with the overall code base. What is it doing? Will it crash? Wow. Never seen this. It froze. Okay, no. So you have this guy as blueprints. I don't think it's needed. You can just drop them into the world and they become actors, right? Yeah, it's similar because here you have a parent class of an actor, but you can also simply drop it, right? If you really want. I mean, if you want, you can just drop it into the world like that. But it's the same. It's the same. I think you scale them down significantly, right? Because it seems that we have. Yeah, you scale them 10. You scale them 10 times. Okay, fine. You scale them 10 times because this guy. Because this guy is actually what? Oh wow, that is 6 meters. Okay. Yeah, you can. Another thing that you can do if you want is just to import it with a scale of 10, right? But it's pretty much the same. When you import FBX, you can tell the FBX importer to scale it 0.1. So okay, yeah, I'm just trying to understand where you are. So you don't have any C++, right? It's only blueprints. Which I think is good because it's also simpler, right? Event gameplay possess. Okay, you have. You're possessing the lockpick. Interesting. You are possessing the lockpick. Now, in theory, is correct. I mean, what you do in a normal project, you know, it would be probably the best way to just possess the lockpick. But the problem is that in our game, if you possess the lockpick, you are no more a PS character, right? And basically the chat will start to break, and I mean, it will be a mess. It's a bit like when you are on a mount, right? So I think this part probably we will have to do it slightly different. But this one is the cleanest way, right? Because then after you do this, obviously in your BP lockpick, right? Yes, you can have all the controls that are actually only residing there. Maybe we can think about it, because actually I like to do it this way as well. Even if it seems that you are not using the enhanced input, you are using the old input, but it's fine. So we may use the enhanced input, but for now, let's leave inside this project, right? Let's not go outside of this project. Okay, so I understand this, guys. I understand this, guys. I don't know if the logic is inside the door. No, the logic is not inside the door. BP lockpick and BP lockpin, okay, are the two where you have more code. BP controls is a widget, okay. That for some reason is appearing only when... here we have the spring. Interesting spring. Here we have the spring. Let me just see if there is any crazy... Yeah, the spring is impossible as it is now. Is like super high resolution, right? We can lower it, it's not a problem. You didn't give me the spring, so I didn't change it, but obviously it is, as it is now, is a bit overdone, right? So there is a lot of geometry for a very, 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 very small item, right? So is actually 16,000 vertices. So 16,000 vertices is like 3 of our characters, right? Fully equipped. So, but we can change that. It's not a problem. Okay, I understand the spring. These are handles. Okay, these are textures. These are all our meshes. There is the texture for the door frame, and everything. Okay. So you are saying that inside the lockpick and the lock pin, there is the logic, right? There is the logic. Yeah, so you have the actor overlap, which is fine, but I think that on the overlap we should somehow lock, right, our pin to our lockpick. So we should say something like, because here you have what? Yeah, lockpick is a lockpick reference, so we know which lockpick we are working on, right? And then here you have the movement. Oh, there is a line there that is a bit weird. What? Oh, there is a line coming back, okay. There is a line coming back. It was a bit weird. It was not very easy to see. This delay is not a very good idea. We can do it differently. I think you should do it probably with a timeline, but because this delay is not very precise. A timeline will probably be better, assuming that we are in an event. Yes, we are in an event. So here you are setting the height, right? Based on this variable. Okay. And it's exponential, so you get a bit of the bouncing effect, right? I guess. Okay. Okay, I understand this. I understand this. What else do we have here? Here we have, and I apologize, guys, from the start because I'm really a bit sleepy today. I didn't sleep well tonight, and so I have to recover some sleep. So if you hear me a bit fuzzy, you know, it's because of that. I will be definitely more. I will be smarter tomorrow. Tomorrow evening. Okay. Set mobility to default scene route. This is a bit weird, but okay. Spring length. Set get actor. Okay. Update position and scale of a spring. Ah, you do it in the tick. Set actor location. Set actor location. Set actor location. Set actor location Z0. Get attached actor. Get 0. Get attached actor. Why? What is this? Final actor will attach to the component of this actor. It's a bit weird. Root components, scale 3D. This I don't understand exactly. Are you just trying to scale? I mean, you can just scale. I don't know. Spring. Ah, because the spring is attached to the pin. Ah, okay. Yeah, I think that. Okay, let me see it again. I think probably you could have created one actor with two pieces, right? And but it's fine. It looks very nice though. I like it. It looks very, very nice. The movement is very nice. I mean, we can even think to use it this way, right? Because I had another idea, right? My idea was that you would push with the pin, you would go up with the pin and down with the pin, and this thing would follow you, right? But now that I see that it's bouncing so nicely, which is actually very nice, I'm thinking if we should do it like you did it. So you go like this, and then you have to press space to block it. And you have to press space in the proper moment, right, where is located. So based on a sound, I think there should be a bit of a sound, when you are at the right, at the right height. Because actually it looks very nice how it bounces, right? I really like the way it bounces. It's very natural. I really like it. Sometimes this thing gets stuck. I don't know why. Yeah, we may also maybe use it this way. Maybe. Why not? I don't know. Let's say that the difference, what is the difference? The difference is that with my method, let me run it in a new window so it's a bit bigger. With my method, you can really fine tune, right? So basically you can go up a bit, then go up, go up, go up, go up, go down, right? So you can fine tune a bit the position of the lock, which corresponds to the position of the pin, and then you can lock it at that height, right? With this one, you have to time it. So you basically push and then lock, right? Push and then lock, which is also nice. Any of you guys have a preference on one or the other method? Because again, my method was to have, you see the pin, the lockpick follow the pin. So you are basically pushing it up, right? You push it up and you bring it down. You push it up and bring it down. Push it up and bring it down. Manually, right? Manually. Because otherwise, I'm wondering why, right? You should go up like this, right? It doesn't really make any sense that you can go up like that. You're going up too much, right? So, but I really like the bouncing. It's super nice. Maybe when you leave leave it, or when he resets, he may reset with the... The only problem is that if you leave your pin here in the middle... Oblivion did bouncing. I think bounces is very nice. I really like it. I really like how it bounces. He bounces very well. Okay. I'm thinking a bit because I don't want to rush. You know, I want to reason on it and see. And see what I... So how would I have done it? I think probably the spring and the pin could be the same actor. And you could scale the mesh of the spring only, right? I like the idea that you attached it. I think that's pretty interesting. How did you attach? You just attach component to actor? I think you attached a component to actor, why is searching everyone else and not here? Is no attach. How did you attach this? I think is that you use like attach component to socket or to or you did it. No, I don't think you can do it with properties. I think you have to do it with the attaching is done in the outliner. Oh really? Ah, like this? Oh wow. Interesting how people can do things differently. Okay, so you basically are saying that this one is a child actor of this one, right? This one is a child actor of this one, which is pretty much the same as having them in the same actor, yes, but I see. So the pin is the father and the spring is the child. The only thing that I don't understand is when you are scale because they move together, right? They move together. If I detach it, what happens? The spring doesn't even scale because I think it's scaled based on the position of the pin. I see. Yeah, and he's really getting upset because he cannot set the 3D scale because he's not finding the attached object, which is perfectly fine. There is also an interesting technique. Now, the problem of doing it like this is that you basically have to manage it in the outliner for every new element that you are adding. While if you create a single actor that has both into it, is a bit easier, right? Because you only have one actor to drop and you don't have to drop it this way. So let me try to create a new BP. A new BP, we call it new, or we call it lock pin new, okay? Lock pin new. So if you go here and here you just copy pretty much what you did here. Yeah? So you added a static mesh. And this will be your pin, right? And then below the static mesh, you attach another static mesh which is your spring. And then you just set, you know, the static mesh like this to our lock pin, and we set the spring to our spring. Right now, these two guys have a bit of a different sides and whatever, but you can resize. Well, the problem is that if you set the scale, right? If you set the scale here and then you change the scale only of the spring, they will not really work properly, right? Also, I think we have a bit of a problem of the overall scale of all these things. So let me do something. Let me redo the spring so that we, and also maybe we can import back the problem is that if I do just re-import, you have an FBX. You have an FBX. You have an FBX somewhere. Where is it? Wait. Is in imported content. Imported content. Minigame. I see imported content. Okay. I think we may decide to resize just everything or to re-import with a different setting, because you okay, I see, you exported my thingy, and then the spring, you added the springs like that. Yeah, I think we should. I think the easiest would be if we just export them separately, right? Because at the moment, okay, the first thing we need to do, we need to have the spring a bit more reasonable, because at the moment it's 1 million polygons, right? And it's really not reasonable. So we have to decimate it. I don't know, 0.1 or something. Can we keep the symmetry on the Y? No, it doesn't allow us. It's about the same. We are losing quality very, very quickly. We're losing quality very quickly. I think the problem are the horizontal loops, because like up to here 25% it looks like decent, but I think it's still a lot, or not. No, it's not a lot. How much is it? It's 1000. 2000. Yeah, because the structure is complex, but I think like this is already more reasonable. I mean, it's still a bit high, but fine. I mean, like this I think is okay. Is it? It's not very even, huh? The spring is not very even. You see it is a bit skewed, right? It's a bit skewed. I don't know exactly why, but it is. So it means that it doesn't fit exactly the pin, but we don't care. I think it's okay. I mean, I don't know if we should, you know, unskew it a bit, but maybe not. I think it's okay, because anyway you see it only from this view. So I think it's perfectly fine. So we can leave it like this. Now the question is, can we export all the pieces actually in 0,0 so that they are actually reasonable? And also, can we change the scene? Scene unit scale is already 0.01. And the problem is that this thing is what? This thing is nearly 1 meter, right? This thing is 1 meter. I mean, it's not that we have to do it small, because anyway, that will be a different scene. But at the same time, I don't want to have, you know, a mechanism that's like 6 meters long, right? So I don't think it makes a lot of sense. So I think probably we can do this. We can just take everything and scale it down. But before doing that, let me put the spring. Oh wow. But you see that the file is a bit weird. Because this is one unit scale. So in this scale, yeah, we have a bit of an issue with scale and import, but is 88, now is 88 meters. Wow. 88 meters is a bit too much. I have the wrong selection, it's so annoying. Let me try again. Why is generating it like this? But anyway, we can scale. We can scale it. We can easily scale it. Are the springs slightly longer? Yes, they are, but we don't care because they are. What? I mean, the position is completely irrelevant anyway. It's completely irrelevant. Do you have another texture for the spring, or are you using the same? I think you're probably using the same texture, eh? Let me see. Oh, the spring is not textured. The spring is not textured. No, we need it textured, and hopefully we need it textured on the same right, on the same texture space, right? This one. So I think now is a bit more reasonable in terms of quality. Then we can move the spring here. And we can, now if we could do the follow, if we could do the, you don't have the ending, eh? This thing is open. That's fine, anyway we cannot see it. If we could do, the follow quad, no, but otherwise we can do it very simply. We can do it like this. We can do it like this. We can seam it. We can seam it like that, right? And we can just texture it normally. I think it will work fine. Okay, it's giving us something like that. Yeah, we want it on the line. We want it on a line like that. And this one can be, now the problem will be, but you know what, we don't really care actually. This will be so small that will be basically invisible. So I mean, not invisible, but the texture will not be very visible, right? So it's fine. I think we can take this space, you know, scale it on the X like 3-4 times, and then we can just slice it and put it at the bottom, and that's it. I will do something like this. I think it's good enough. For this thing is enough. We don't need more than this for the spring, right? Okay, so now the spring is textured and it will change color. Now we may decide to have the spring the single color, right? But the other thing I think we should do for all the pieces that we need to export, I think we want them in 000. So even if I don't know about the lockpick. The lockpick maybe I don't want to change it, but I think if we take the spring and we move it, right, to 000, which is in the middle of the thingy, which is fine. And then we export only the spring, because the rest I think is fine. And then we re-import this guy. No, I have to re-import with new file. Good question. Under mechanism. Failed to re-import mesh. All of his polygons are degenerate. Holy shit. What do you mean? All the polygons are degenerate. Ah, shit, I did scale, I didn't do position. I did scale 000 instead of doing position 000. That may be the problem. Okay. When you do re-import on new file, does he ask you about the scale? No, it doesn't, huh? Wow. Fantastic. The editor crashed. Why starting with 511, by the way? That's a bit weird. Why starting with 511? What? Starting with another, yeah, with another older version that we don't want. We want to have our version. So let me switch it. So I will switch this to the proper version. Switch to 543. Okay. Use 511 because 54 doesn't work well. Okay. So if I change it, then that is a problem, though, huh? Because if I change it, then you cannot use it anymore. No, then let me stay in 5.1 then. Okay, I will stay in 5.1. It's okay. I can stay in 5.1. Because otherwise you cannot change it anymore, right? And this is a problem because it means that at that point I have to do everything myself. While I would like to leverage your help a bit more if possible. So I can stay on 5.1.1. I think it's just a bit more unstable, but fine. And it's a bit older, but all the basic concepts are fine, right? Are the same, so I don't think we are losing anything. For this particular project, I don't think we are losing anything, so it's okay. Then I will have obviously to convert it to our version when I add it to the game, but there is still quite some ground to cover, right? Before before adding it to the game. There is still quite a bit to do. I mean, all the logic of the complexity of the game, right? The bottom pins, so the ability to also use the bottom pins and all of that. So yeah, I should be able to give it to you back after, I don't know, it's compiling shaders now. No, why is compiling shaders? Because probably this 511 is not exactly the same that I used before. No, but it's okay. Wow, 5,000 shaders, come on. It will take like 5-6 minutes. It will take a bit. Okay, while he's running, what can we do? No, I think this is okay. Yeah, I wanted to reason if it's better to have one actor. The only problem I think is the position, because what you are doing, which I think is good, is that you have the spring, right? And then you have the pin attached. Now I can make it one actor, which is a bit easier to manage, right? The only problem is the scale of this, right? So we need to scale this, and then we need to move this up, right? So this is what you did, right? So I think you did not move the because you have the attached, because it's attached. Yeah, because it's attached. So it's a bit strange though, because with the attachment, it didn't take the scale. So the child was not taking the scale. And probably because the spring was your child, right? Yeah, the spring was the child. So this is why it was not taking the scale. But then how do you move it up together? And also, how do you decide that this is the attachment point? Did you do anything special to say that it should be attached here, or it just worked automatically? Automagically? Because as we scale this, right, so this spring becomes smaller. Obviously the pin needs to be here, right? So let me just check what the hell I have to do tomorrow morning. Okay. Yeah, still compiling shaders. Like a boss. 2,900 left. I don't know why he's recompiling shaders again. I think because I probably used another version. So it was probably I launched it with a 5.1 or with another 5.1.1 that was not this particular version. Strange. How many 5.1.1 do I have? Yeah, maybe he started with this 5.1. Not even 5.1.1. Are you sure you have 5.1.1 and not 5.1? I think the way I did it is not as realistic because it was scaled without actually fixing top of the spring to lock the base. Fixing the top of the spring to lock the base. Okay, I understand. Yeah, but it was looking good though. I mean, the result was very nice. It was really looking like the spring was shrinking properly. So I think that the scale of the spring was pretty good. and the pin would follow, right? I don't know if there is an easier way to do it, but I don't think so, because anyway the pin needs to follow the spring. I need to wait that this thing finishes because I cannot do anything else at the moment, which is a bit annoying. Yeah, exactly. It looked very right. It looked very nice actually. Okay, we are nearly done with the calculations, hopefully. $400 shaders left. 350. 300. 250. Go, go, go. 200. 20. Usually the last 4 are super slow. Last 5 are super slow. Okay. No, it went fine. Okay, it's finally loading. Should be able to see it again. Come on. Yeah, it crashed pretty bad, so for sure it didn't save our new blueprint, but it's okay. Okay, let me see it again 1 second. So so the spring is the child. So yeah, so when you scale it, it's not really... Yeah, but... so did you make the bottom move at the same speed as scaling, I guess? Because otherwise it cannot work, right? Calculate position. Okay, that is fine. But this is not what is doing the movement, right? What is doing the movement is this. Yes. So you are setting... all my editing is gone. You are setting the X and Y the same, and then you are changing only the Z. Where this Z0, I don't know what is it, but hopefully is your delta, right? And you do it on the tick without using delta second. Without using delta second, it's not a good idea, because if you run it on a slow PC or on a fast PC, right, it will actually look different. So you always have to use delta seconds, or you can use the timeline, which is also a way. And okay, so in the same function you do the movement of the pin, and you do the yeah, and you do the scale of the spring. And how do you do it? You do it based on the Z, and the Z is calculated here. And then it's calculated here. And this move pin is called by who? Move pin. Wow, by no one? No, it's called by someone for sure. It's called by... Wait. It's called by the overlap. Okay, so when you overlap, you decide the Z. Well, you set it to 0. You set it to 0. This was the one that was going back and forth, right? This was the one going back and forth. Yeah, I think it is really not a good idea, but we can do it differently, maybe with a timeline. So this basically runs forever. Yeah, this runs forever. It's not the greatest idea. So this basically, for every pin you have a function that is, so you are generating every so you are generating 100 times a second one timer for each pin, right? So if we have 8 pins, you are generating 800 timers per second, which is insane, right? You should have one timer only, I guess, that is doing all the work for all the pins that are in the. So this is definitely not very optimal, right? I mean, it's working, but it's not very optimal, I would say. Sorry, but I have it open in 2 places. Fuck. I have it open in 2 places. So it was already open. So it crashed, but it was open. I don't understand what I'm looking at. It crashed, but it was actually open. Wow. I don't know. I don't know what crashed then. I'm confused. Very confused. Fine. Let's not worry about this. It is 5-1. Okay, good. So I will try to do it slightly different, okay? If it's fine with you. So I would like to do it slightly differently. Where is our lock pin? I didn't save it, obviously. I didn't save it. It didn't save it. Yeah, tonight I'm so tired, guys, that I'm reasoning like with in slow motion. I'm reasoning in slow motion, but fine. So it crashed when we tried to. It crashed when we tried to re-import this with a new file, right? And it crashed super bad. No, because I would like to have the new spring, which is the one without a million polygons, right? The one without a million polygons, yes. Let's see if it crashes again. No, it doesn't. Okay, fantastic. So at the moment here, obviously it is wrong now, right? But we don't care. We will kill maybe the first one or the last one. Let's kill the last one. So the last one, we're gonna kill it. And we're going to substitute it with our new. Let me see, how big is this? What do you mean 0, 0, 0? Huh? Imported it as 0, 0, 0? Is 8 centimeters. 8 centimeters? No, is 8 millimeters. No, now it's too small though. 8 millimeters is really too small. Even if it looks okay here. But think it's because this file is 0.01. When you have these things is annoying. Okay, now seems better. Now is 8 centimeters. Okay. Okay, now is fine. Now this thing is 8 centimeters. Okay, fantastic. So but the problem is that our world thingy is all fucked up. Where is it? Cannot even see it. It's so small that I cannot even see it. Cannot see it. I cannot see it. I don't know why. It's not there or what? Or it's too big and so it's going... No, but it's not too big for sure. But it's in 000, so in theory it should be here. So there is something not... working here. The problem is that if we don't do 8 centimeters, but we do the 80 centimeters like it is now, this stuff, because this stuff is all giant, right? I think we need to re-import this stuff. This thing is 80 centimeters. Okay, let's go with 80 and GG, because otherwise it's gonna take too much time. Let's do this. Let's go with 80 centimeters, which is very big, so it means that this thing will be like 6 meters, but that's fine. We will put it in a place in the world that no one will see it, so it's okay. Let me try to re-import this. Okay, now it's big. And so now, can I see it now or no? Ah, it's there. Okay. Why? No, it's not that. Okay. So this is now, the problem is that after importing it like this, you scaled everything 0.1. Which is not a greatest idea, because then if you work with scale, it will override the 0.1, right? Why this thing is so big now? I'm having some issues with the scale, that's for sure. Maybe some significant issue with the scale. And also I don't understand why when I position something in 0,0, it's not putting it in 0,0, right? Why? I have my pivot here, right? Why this thing is not exported correctly? Does he have any modifiers? No, he has no modifiers. So why this spring is not centered? Huh? Why? You see that it's not centered. These ones also are not centered, by the way. But this one is weirdly centered, non-centered. Maybe because I'm seeing it. No, it is. I don't understand. I don't understand why the pivot is not correct in this thing. Is there anything here for pivot? No, pivot 0, 0, 0. No, it's correct, but it's not. It's not showing properly when I drop it into the world. Maybe because there is a... And I'm dropping it, I'm just dropping the static mesh, right? So... That is super weird. I'm dropping the static mesh with 0, 0 and it's not working. Interesting. Is there rotation? Maybe. Let me... No, please. No, don't do that. Let me just apply scale and everything. And let me export it again. I just applied everything, including scale, rotation, and anything else, right? So that... It doesn't give a shit. It doesn't care. It doesn't care. It's always offset. How is this possible? That my pivot is here and my spring is here. Huh? Maybe an import translation in the spring static mesh. Because when you import, okay, I understand. When you imported, you specified a delta, and now it's taking it again because okay, I see. Yeah, that can be the only reason, because otherwise it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. So let me try to import it again. And we will call it... No, let me rename this. Probably when you imported it, you decided to specify... What do you mean? Bro, please. Please. Is the file name that is fucked? Or, oh my god, sometimes things are so hard while they should be so easy. Okay, Spring 2, come on. It's a new file. Okay, this is importing at 0.1. So this is actually 8 centimeters. And which is probably too small, but it's fine. You can do... Yes, now it's correct. Yeah, it was in your import. In your import, I think you specified the delta for whatever reason. So my which is fine, but my suggestion is when you are exporting stuff, mainly from Blender, right? You just move the item to 0, 0, 0 and you reset the pivot and you export it this way. So basically you have all your pieces in a clean coordinate system, right? So everything is in a clean coordinate system. And I did it already for the base, right? The base, you see that is already in 0, 0 and it's pointing there. The pivot is there. I did it with the gate, if I remember right. Yes, the pivot is there. So all these pieces will match properly, right? And I did it with the slit. So all these ones are correct. The ones that are still a bit wrong are this guy, which is the pin, which I think it should also go in 0, 0, 0. Now, and then we will figure out the delta, right? We will figure out the delta in Unreal. But when you are importing FBX, I think you should not pin. You should not specify a different translation or rotation, right? You just export it like it is, and then you change it in Unreal, right? Which is the easiest. So do we want to go 0.1 or not? I mean, since I'm re-importing it all, I think we can go 0.1, yes. It will be a bit small, but... yeah, you see that now things are going into the right place. Things are going into the right place. And also in terms of size. Now that is very small because it's only 8 centimeters, but I think it's okay. So we can say that we can say now, do we want to position them here or not? Yeah, I think we can position them like this, right? There is a child of that. So as soon as, now the problem will be that as soon as this guy moves, also the spring moves, right? But I think it's the same in your case, right? It's the same because they were father and child. But the spring will scale, right? Like this. So if I take scale on the Y, right? It will scale like this. So it will look exactly like it was looking for you, right? It will look exactly the same. The difference is that now is a single actor and is a bit cleaner. Now, I'm not saying that yours was bad. Yours was good, I think, but it's just a bit cleaner. I mean, it's just a bit cleaner because it's one item only, right? So when you drop it now, you drop both the pin and the spring. Now let me think how we should do it. How we should do this. Okay, there is a rotation. We can have our rotation of 90 degrees. That's not a big deal. And just to have them vertical like this, right? And I mean, now everything is scale 1, right? As you can see here. So it's not scaled, it's not messing up. That is the light that is doing that effect. So now in this BP, right? In this BP, similarly to what you did, I would like to simplify this code though a bit, because you have a begin overlap that is calling move pin, and move pin is calling start time. It's calling start time. Why? Because then you stop when the start time, when the new time is something. Ah, yes, if it's less than 2 seconds. Okay. Do it only for 2 seconds. I see. So if it's false, you exit from this loop. Okay, I understand. And you bring back the Z to 0. You bring back the, so you assume that in 2 seconds you do the up and down. You do the up and down. I see. I'm thinking if we should do it differently. Even if I like the bounce, I kind of like the bounce. It's not that I don't like the bounce. Huh? think I like the bounce, but now now the spring is yeah, because I moved the I moved their position, right? So they're not anymore in the right position. But looks like an interesting contraption. Looks like an interesting one. So basically this needs to go here. This is the new one, right? This is the new one. By the way, why this one was not textured? Strange. Because in theory, it should be the same. Or maybe it's just the light? No, I think it's not textured actually. So this is the new one, right? And you do the begin overlap on this guy. No, in the begin play. So the overlap is calling, yeah, the overlap is calling move pin, yeah. Based on who you overlap with, right? Yes. Based on who you overlap with. So I don't think we can avoid the overlap. I think the overlap is anyway needed. So we have to do this, right? We have to do this. Now my class is a different class, right? So we will have to change a few things, but fine. So we will have to cast it to these other things, to this new, right? Unfortunately, but fine. So the others will not work anymore, but it's okay. So we can change this. Yeah, change it. It will complain a lot. It will complain a lot, but it's okay. So now we can say that, yeah, this move pin, right? I think this move pin can be exactly the same, by the way. I think all of this can be very similar. Let's put it identical for now, and then we will see what to do. I can just copy this stuff and see. Huh? What? I can just copy for now, but I think I want to change this a bit. Okay, so now, okay, we have a bunch of variables that we have to. There are a bunch of variables that we have to recreate. Okay, now it's compiling, right? Now, just doing this a second, right? Just to use my new class. Just to use my new class, right? Which is basically like yours, but just with the two pieces together, which is a bit easier to manage. Fine. So now if we touch this, nothing happens. Did you change the... Ah, no, it's just that he obviously, yeah. Obviously complains because it doesn't find anything attached, right? So now this thing is this pretty much, right? So it is not needed anymore. It's just a spring, right? Still, it doesn't like it. It doesn't like it. Why? Because maybe the Z. I don't understand this Z0. Where is the Z0? But I think is you calculated in the. Can we call it Z delta or something? Because it's a bit confusing. Get actor location Z. Get actor location Z. Huh? What do you mean? So you set it to the same actor location? I was expecting this to be the delta, no? I was expecting the Z0 to be the delta to add on top of my current position. But it seems it's not. So, because you calculate the Z, because you calculate the Z, not the Z0, okay. Z0 is the initial location, Z is the office. Okay. Okay, and this T is what? You should never name variable like this because they're very hard to read. Just give them a proper name. What is T? T is the time? T seems to be the time. Okay, so let me just rename something because like this I go crazy. So T is the time. Z is the Z delta, is the Z pin delta actually. Is the Z pin delta. Z0 is the Z pin start location. Okay. Okay, fantastic. So in the calculation you do the current time minus 1. Okay, so you're going the other negative. Multiply by this, and we set the delta. Okay, we set the delta. After we set the delta, in the tick, probably we don't have anything in the tick at the moment of our new, right? No, we do. So in the tick of this, there is this pin set. Pin set, what is this pin set? Pin set is probably if the pin is the current pin, is the one that we are moving, right? If it's the one that we are moving, I guess this is what it is. But it's always off. Why is always off? Oh shit. Pin set is everywhere. Wow. Why pin settings is in such a million places? Because is it when you press the space bar? Pin set means that is in place, right? It is in place, so it's not. So by default is off, so it's okay. So we'll go through this. So if it's false, we do this. We get our actor location and we change the Z based on the start location plus the delta, right? Start location plus the delta. Okay, fantastic. and we set it on the Z now. Okay. So this in theory should work, right? I don't understand why my Z here is not doing anything. I mean, it's true that I moved it, right? But I would like to see if... So it seems that this is doing nothing. Ah, also the spring is not there. Why the spring is not there? We don't see that. We don't see the spring attached to my component. Why? We don't see the spring. I mean, the spring is here. Why we don't see it? They should go together, right? If you move the position of this, it should, or the scale goes to 0. It is possible that the scale goes to 0. It should not, but it is possible. I mean, I think it's the only thing they can bring it to, they can make it disappear, right? Where are we setting the scale? Let me remove 1 second the scale and see if we see it. Yeah, we see it if we don't, have the scale. So this set scale is actually setting it to 0. Ah, by the way, this scale is not correct anymore. This should be 1, 1, right? Because you multiply by 0.1, because this was before my re-import, right? Because I re-imported. Okay, now it's okay. Yeah, it was the multiplication by 0.1. Okay, so now the spring is, at least the spring is correct. But the overlap doesn't seem to do anything. The overlap... What is the overlap? No, the overlap, we do it with the lockpick, right? Yeah, the overlap. So we should go through this, right? So move pin should happen. Okay, we can print out something, or we can just debug it. Well, we are in the editor, so we can debug it, which is the easiest. We will debug what? Lockpicking new, yeah. So if I do this, that should trigger, right? It doesn't. It seems that overlap is not happening. So probably you have set in the lock pin, you have set some collision stuff, or no? You have set some collision preset trigger. You created a new collision preset? Interesting. You did a lot of advanced stuff, by the way. Considering you just started, right? You did a lot of good stuff. So you created a new trigger. Did you create this? No, it's default. You set it. You didn't create it. Okay, you just set it to it. So you set to your pin trigger war dynamic. So we should do the same for our guy. If I go collision is trigger war dynamic. I don't know if this will help, but at least it's similar to what you have. Yes, it does. Okay, so it was the collision thingy. So you see now it's the same, pretty much. This is the same, but it's with one object, right? Which is not a major change, but is slightly better, right? It's slightly better. It's a bit simpler to set up. And also the dimensions now are not scaled anymore, right? So that they are, now, I really like the bouncing, by the way. I really like it. I think it's super fun to see this thing bounce. We can leave the bouncing, but I think that we should ensure that there is a bit of a visual... sorry, there's a bit of a sound hint. And also, how do we ensure that the player is not doing this, right? I don't know. So I think we can delete all the other pins. And we can drop... I mean, you can basically make a copy of this, right? Basically make a copy of this. Very nice. Let me understand why the UI is not added properly to the screen. Why the UI sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. That is very, very strange. So you have this widget, right, which is BP controls, right? Why when we go in lockpicking level, you put something in the level blueprint. You put something in the level blueprint. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Hello, Constrabus. It has a small twitch when the tool makes contact with the pin, I think. Yeah, because I think it probably triggering it twice or something. We can fix that later on. Let me understand this part a second. Display lockpicking controls on screen. So you create a widget, okay. You set the position in the viewport. This is not the greatest idea. You should just go full screen, I think, for the time being. So you put them actually down here or wherever you want them, right? And this will become a full screen thingy, right? So you don't set the position in the viewport, you just use the full screen. Add to viewport. What are you doing here? Set BP, lock slit, lock part. Okay, you're saving all the references to your you're saving all the references just because you may use them later, right? So which is fine. Okay. Anyway, I think I will give it back to you, and maybe you can continue from here, right? But so here is basically setting. So set references to the lock pieces, so you can use them later. Fantastic. And then what do you do? Calculate the height of the pin needed based on lock strength. Lock strength, lock picking skill, calculate threshold height. I think this we have to do differently probably. I think this we will have to do slightly differently, but anyway, it's pretty good, eh? This thing works. which is nice. Sorry, I have a bit of OCD in these things being correctly aligned. Things are not aligned, it makes me mad. But okay, so now in theory when we go, okay, now you see them also, yeah, without the offset, because you were using an offset, and so that thing was, depending on the size of your window, it was going in different places, right? So, but it's fine. Yeah, you see, if I just touch it, it doesn't, well, it does it. Now we didn't do it, right? So it depends how deep you go. If you go like this, as soon as he moves, I think we should just have a kind of a gate, right? It's overlapping twice, pretty much. What happens is that it's overlapping twice. Sometimes it does it, sometimes not. It's kind of weird. Yeah, anyway, the spring movement is so nice that I think I will leave it as it is. I think I will leave it. The only problem is, because in our reasoning, what did we say? We said that we wanted to have the pressure and stopping at the right height. Yeah, no, it's okay. Okay, let's leave the bouncing. I like the bouncing. The only problem of the current bouncing is that it's done in a very brutal way, right? It's very, very brutal. So every pin at the moment, every pin has its own delay, right? I think my suggestion will be to add timeline, right? To have a timeline. To have a timeline that we can call it bounce. I don't understand. How do you go down? Because you do it with this crazy thing? It's very strange. Because you do -1 probably. But anyway, if you use a timeline, right, I will show you what it does, right? So if you use a timeline, you can decide, for example, that this timeline is starting. I mean, you may decide that the timeline is 2 seconds long, right? Which is exactly what you needed, right? 2 seconds long, and you may have an initial value. The start at 00, right? Start at 00. Then you may have another value that is 1, 1. And then you may have another value which is 2, 0, right? Why this is not a curve? Yes. Okay, so this thing is your curve, right? Now, if you want to make it steeper, you know, whatever you can. But at the moment, we will not, I would say. Because it is auto, you can do user. But anyway, let's say that we do it like this, right? So that is your timeline. Now, the only thing that you have to do, I think you don't even have to do this anymore, right? Because you know that it's 2 seconds. So when this is finished, when 2 seconds are gone, you go into the finished, right? And so the only thing that you will have to do, you will have to go in play from start. So it restarts every time. You can decide to start at a different point in time, but in this case we will not. Calculating the height calculating the height in theory is useless because this is our curve, right? This is our curve. But we need to set this pin z delta. Hey, now here I don't know about this calculation. But 7 plus multiply by 0.7 plus 7. That I don't know exactly what the hell is it, but we take, that is our value that goes from 0 to 1, right? So I see that you multiply by 7, so I will do the same. No, by minus 7, because probably it's going negative. And this will be your z pin delta that is updated every time. Then when it's finished, I don't understand this too much. Why we do this? So we check if the pin is set, and if it's not set, I don't know, this I will do exactly the same as you do. Because I don't understand what it's doing, but probably it's doing something useful. So we do this. So in theory, this should do the same of this, right? Just by using a timeline instead of using this delay, and the calculation is done by the curve, right? That is your curve, so you can change this curve as many points as you want, and in theory the pin will follow. Now it will probably not work at the first run, but we will see. We will see. Oh wow. It's not minus 7, then it's plus 7, but it actually worked. It actually worked, my boys. So it's multiplied by 7. I think it's a bit less swingy compared to the one that you had, so I think yours was a bit better, probably because you have a more exponential, right? You have more exponential value, but with some adaptation to the curve, I think it will do the same. Yeah, it's a bit more linear than what you had, right? I think you had a bit more exponential, so we can in this timeline, if we could make this longer, can I? I cannot. Why I cannot? If it's already user, why I cannot make it? Huh? I'm trying to pull it to the left, but it's not. It's not going to the left. Why? I mean, I can add another point, but I think it was easier if... Oh, there's no way. There's no way. To make it more bouncy, what do? We do this. So he has to go up fast. So in reality, it's more like, what? He has to go up fast, then stay up a bit, and then go down fast. I don't know if I don't think I'm doing it right. We can see how it looks. It's not bad. It goes down way faster than it goes up. It goes down way faster. Yeah, because this number, because this point and this point are not the same, right? Time 0.42 value. I don't know why. Oh, because this is way lower. But anyway, you can tweak the, you see, you can tweak the curve. Anyway, you can tweak the curve, right? Not every time. Oh, the peak was lower, it wouldn't be able to catch up the pin a second time, maybe. If the peak was lower, it wouldn't be able to catch up the pin a second time. What do you mean? By the way, the space is not working anymore now. No. I really like the bouncy. Anyway, you can tweak the curve, Twilight. I don't know if Twilight, if you're still here, but my idea is that I send it back to you, right? I send it back to you, and you can continue a bit on this, right? If you want, obviously, if you have time, if you can. But I think it was nice to see someone else working on stuff. Gave me like a fuzzy feeling, you know, to see someone else working on stuff. Not only me. This light is still insane. This light is very annoying. Guys, I'm really tired. I think I will go to bed. I'm really tired. I'm like sleeping already. You can hear it from my voice, right? I think the light is slightly better, but it's still annoying. Light is still annoying. There is the AI adaptation that is going to be crazy. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna go. So I will send you this. Basically, the difference is that I imported these items with different sides. I think I will resend you also this, so that the actual pin object is not scaled, right? Is scale 1, right? So that I think in general is a better idea, right? To avoid scaling, doing weird stuff. And then I added this pin new that has the timeline that you can tweak to have the bouncy that you want. And it removes all this part that I think we can delete at this point. I can leave it, so but you can delete it, right? Because it is not used anymore, right? So that is the like new way. New bounce with timeline. Also, you don't start any weird timers or anything, right? So I think it's a bit cleaner. Now, there are still few issues. One is the delta time that you add in the tick. Yeah, this one you have to use and multiply by this delta. Otherwise, on a different machine, right, if it's faster, if you run it on a very slow PC, it will move slow. And if you run it on a fast PC, oh, I broke it. Why? Just by doing this, I broke it. Because the delta second is 0. Yeah, because I have to multiply only the delta, obviously. I have to multiply only the delta. not the final location, right? Yeah. Okay, back to. Oh. Why is doing that? This needs to be figured out, but in theory, you have to do it this way. This delta seconds is how much time it passed before the previous tick and the current tick, and you have to multiply it by your delta. Now, why? If I do it like this, it fucks up. I don't know. Because I have to multiply the delta there as well. I mean, in theory it should work, but it didn't. Let me try like this, but I think it will not work. You see, it moves very, very little. Okay. So it's a matter of amount now, but now it's using the delta. So it's a matter of amount. So the amount is too little. So they multiply by -7. So okay, so I think that this is correct now. That is correct. So we compensate, right? We compensate for delta seconds, which is what we have to do. It's what we have to do. But now they multiply by the only problem is that I think that now the multiply by 0.7 is too little. What is it? The multiply by 7, I think now it doesn't work anymore. Let me do 17 or whatever. Okay, why? I think there is something. Whee! Okay, we just have to find the right value, right? But now at least he's using the delta seconds, which is what is needed. You will find the right value, I guess, or I'm finding it now. Still a bit too much. Then the other thing will be to also add the pins at the bottom, right? To add the two setups. Yeah, to add the two setups, to add the pin at the bottom, to add a noise. I think there should be a sound, right? When the thing goes up, there should be a sound that goes like tick 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 tick. And I think the tick 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 can be continuous, right? When it goes up and down, so it can be like tick 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 tick. But then when it's reaching the height where you have to stop it, it will do another tick, right? Will do another additional sound, so that you understand where you have to stop it. Yes, and then we need a pin at the bottom, right? Okay, how do I send this to you? Because I really want to go. I'm like dying of sleep. How do I send it? I can send it to you the same way you send it to me. Hopefully. including the new Blender file, including the new Blender file. Okay, let me see, where is this project? Lockpicking minigame. Wow, it's 1 gigabyte though. Is 1 gigabyte? Oh shit. No, but we don't need 1 gigabyte because in the 1 gigabyte, right, there is a bunch of standard content, right? All the starter content is completely useless. We should not copy. There is like, the majority is the standard content, yeah, which is 600 megabytes actually. I think we can only extract. So I will zip everything except saved, which I think is completely useless because saved is all the backups, you know, backups, logs, all that shit. And content. Okay, let me do this. Let me zip it up, and then we will delete what is not needed. Okay. So you see what also the next time you have to send it to me. So I will name it with my name, Luca. My name is Luca, and okay. And then here I will delete. And I think you can just override or you can create another directory. But basically here we delete what? We delete saved, which is 370 megabytes, which is completely useless. And we delete content, starter content, okay, which is 600 megabytes. And if then you just override it or you just create a new third-person project, it should work fine. Let me see how big it is like that. It is 81 megabytes, which is still a bit, but can I use the same Google Drive that you used or no? Google Drive. Can I? No, I cannot upload, obviously, there. Do I have my Google Drive? I use WeTransfer, which is easier or not? No, because it is a URL. Drive Google. Let me see if I have my Google Drive where I can upload. Or we can create an SVN. We can also create an SVN online. But Google Drive. New file upload. Okay. Okay, I'm there. 81 megabytes. Okay. I'm uploading and I will send you the link. Okay, it's uploaded. It's uploaded. Now, how do I send you the link? Couldn't preview. Download. Lockpicking minigame. Lockpicking minigame. Look. Hey, I need a freaking link. Share. Share copy link. Okay, link copied. Okay. Anyone with the link can view it. Okay, done. Anyone with the link? Anyone with the link can view it. Yes, copy link, done. Okay, I'm sending it to you so that... Let me know if you can open it, and then I think I'm done for tonight. I will be a bit more active tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, I hope I can sleep well, and so we can work on this more or not. Maybe I will leave it to you for a bit, and then you tell me what. So the changes I did, to summarize, are I just modified the spring to be more reasonable in terms of size, and I don't think you need this, right? No, I don't think you need it. And then I changed that blueprint. And then I made myself more comfortable with the way you do it, so that I think I know better the code now. I think the main thing to add, if you look at the Google Docs, I think the main thing to... I have to change this though. I have to change this because I think we want the bounce, right? But yeah, if you could do the sound, I think would be nice. Do you understand how I want to do it? So that as soon as you touch it, there is this bounce, which is very nice, and the thing does tick 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 tick, right? But at a certain point, it does like a small different sound, like a clang, cling, clong, whatever you want. And so you understand that is where you have to stop it, right? And you have to randomize where to stop it. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching, and sorry for the slow brain tonight, but I'm a bit tired. I will see you tomorrow evening, 9:30 p.m. European time, and yeah, we will go from there. Maybe tomorrow we will work on something else, so we give some time to Twilight to actually work on the thing. And thank you, Twilight, for the help. Very appreciated. It's very nice to see someone else helping. If you want to click follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, that's always a good idea. And also remember that you can download our game from our website. The game is live and you can play it right now for Windows, Linux, and Mac. Bye. Bye bye. I'm sleeping. Yeah, making changes will take longer. No, I understand. You're not working on it like me, so you can work it with any timeline, you know, a week, 2 weeks, whenever you want. So it's fine. It's just that sometimes when I see something, I jump on it and I want to do it, right? It's just the way my brain works sometimes.